Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Astro Psych 400. My name is Ned Dahan, and I will be your host. I'm also the host of Black Box Online Radio, which is a channel that talks about true crime at least 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Feel free to like and subscribe to both channels. I've been following along with several discussions in the quote-unquote manosphere, and they often talk about the sociosexual hierarchy. I'm sure you've heard some things about alpha males and beta males, and perhaps to a certain extent it could apply to females, but they mostly talk about it in relation to guys. Let's look at some of these terms. What do these actually mean? Because alpha and beta can mean so many different things to different people. A lot of the guys are just using the terms alpha and beta, meaning strong and weak, and they just think that that's all there is. It's almost like you're either this or that. But there's this sociosexual hierarchy out there that tries to add in a few more layers and a few more details. Firstly, alpha, and I'm reading this off of Mind Journal, mind you. Alphas are confident, dominant, charismatic, and natural leaders, highly attractive to women. Alphas are extroverts and highly successful in their careers. They thrive on challenges. Cool. A beta is a follower of the alpha. Betas play safe and avoid risks. They lack self-esteem and confidence. Betas worship women and are blindly obeying orders. They are reserved and idealistic. The next one is delta. The delta is the average normal guy. They are hardworking, who lack drive and ambition, and struggle with attracting women. They are society's worker drones who don't believe in self improvement. And I also heard this on an episode of The Rational Male that another aspect of the delta male is that he just wants respect. That is the goal. I guess he is the hard worker and just wants respect, acknowledgement, and appreciation for it. The next one is the gamma male. They are unattractive, bitter, and introspective, confused with their hierarchy. They fail to follow social rules, unsuccessful in attracting women, and tend to be obsessive lovers, stalkers, and narcissists. And the point that I've heard about this in the past is that gamma males are the guys who have a certain degree of intelligence. However, they do not comprehend the emotional and social parts of society, so they can think about all of these reasons about why they should be attractive, why people should desire them. They have all these reasons about why they should be leaders, but they also do not have the mental fortitude and even the emotional toughness to deal with these types of situations because, as someone once put it, that if they actually were in a position of power or in some type of any type of relationship, they would probably run away as soon as there was some type of insult or conflict or just any rough behavior of any sort. And the last one is Omega. Omegas are the polar opposites of alphas. Omegas are social outcasts, mostly nerds. They are needy, clingy, and avoided by everyone. Being undesirable and damaged, these social rejects fail to attract women. Wow. And of course, there is also the Sigma. The Sigma is even included on this Mind Journal socio-sexual hierarchy. And the Sigma male is the introverted alpha. Sigmas are confident lone wolves who do not seek attention, immensely confident and highly attractive to women, as they are mysterious and charismatic. And the example of the Sigma male that people used to talk about was James Bond, because when James Bond goes out on these missions, he isn't always trying to be a leader, and he's not always trying to be in control of anything other than his own mission and attracting women, but he's mostly a lone wolf. Yes, he has social interactions with M and Q and so on, and Moneypenny, depending on which variant of the series that you're watching. But he's mostly a lone wolf. You mostly see James Bond by himself. And over the past couple of years, I think people really have begun to view the Sigma as not just that neatly dressed person like James Bond who is extremely strong and capable, but also just any type of lone wolf guy who is standing up for himself and successful. Now, what do we make of all of this? I think that there is a big problem with this sociosexual hierarchy, and that is that these statements are so unbelievably general that they most likely apply to everyone. Perhaps even you listening to this right now. By the way, thanks for listening to AstroPsych 400. This channel is small but growing. And the reason why I say they're very general is I've been in absolutely all of these positions at some point in life. And to say that even one of them is the dominant one or just you're mostly like one of these characteristics, no. And yes, even the alpha, even the omega. Yes, I've been in situations when I've been the confident, dominant, and natural leader who rose to the top of a bunch of other guys. Not a lot, but I've definitely done that before. And I've also been the omega, the polar opposite, the social outcast, mostly nerdy, needy, and clingy, and avoided by everyone. And somebody else also brought up an interesting point about um, omega males, and I don't remember who else I would give him credit for. It's like the source, but what he said was that even if they aren't talking to people, like they're just sitting in the room, whether it's a cafeteria or a library or something, they bother people. They just give off this negative presence, and yeah, I've done that too. I've been that kind of person. Not proud of it. Nope, absolutely not. So, but I definitely did. And somebody also introduced a new concept in 2022, and that is the lambda. Such a great Greek letter, right? Lambda, 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 the fraternity from Revenge of the Nerds. But a lambda is just someone who doesn't use this stuff. And I really hope that doesn't catch on, because that defeats the purpose of not using the system, right? But these statements are very, very basic to the point where sometimes we work in groups and we thrive. Sometimes we are lone wolves and we thrive. Okay, no, I haven't been James Bond, but I do appreciate his automobiles. And yes, I mean, I've been in this beta role, absolutely, not recently, because I had a big personality change when I was 28, and I'm not even really sure why, but I really just kind of noticed a lot of differences in my personality. But the beta is the follower of the alpha, playing it safe, avoiding risks, lacking confidence, worshipping women, and blindly obeying orders, and absolutely, absolutely, I've done all of those things. But the whole point is that at different times in life, we experience different things. And you might notice that this channel is Astro Psych 400. I started this one because I was doing a 12-part video series on astrology and sharing my own take on the subject. And a lot of these sociosexual hierarchy things are on par with astrology. They're statements that could apply to so many people all across the board. And it might give you some benefit to learn this stuff, sociosexual hierarchies, if you are in a group and you're trying to learn about other people. But if you self analyze, I think it's all going to come back to the same way. You're just going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm all of these. But if you look at, like, maybe your group of coworkers or your group of classmates or the friends you had back in high school, that might be a little bit more helpful. Who was the alpha of the group? Who was the beta? And definitely, you probably experienced some type of gamma behavior from other people, like someone who thought that they should be either the leader of the pack or the very attractive person to sexual partners, but they weren't. And if they actually did have that opportunity, they would have just destroyed themselves because they wouldn't have been able to deal with any type of interpersonal interaction. And have you ever known anyone who would fit this definition of a Sigma male? Somebody who is, okay, they're the very strong, confident, possibly even charismatic person, but they're not the natural born leader and they do not operate within a group. And some people just simply try to say that no, there are no Sigmas, there are just alphas and betas, and it's an inappropriate type of characterization. I definitely think there are Sigmas in the world, and this would be another thing that I've definitely done before, not like James Bond, but yes. I mean, have you ever been that way? Have you ever been a lone wolf who has succeeded at something? and you were doing it on your own, independently, and other people recognized that you were good at it independently, but you didn't care because you were a strong lone wolf. I'm sure that that would fit into your life somewhere. So overall, I think that people really just get attached to these types of labels, and they think that that's all there is. They just let these terms define them, and they're not going to define you, no matter what. It's like with astrology. I'm a Gemini, and they'll be like, personality traits of a Gemini. Nope, this is what a Gemini is. You will never break this mold. I don't know why there's this desire from people out there to be stuck in their current state. Like the people who are the black pillars who say that looks and social status are all that matter. No, of course not. But they just want to be in this type of the state of hopelessness, perhaps. It allows them to categorize other people. And I think maybe it's good to use this system to categorize other people if you want to understand the dynamics of your social group, a specific social group. And the second reason that this is the bad one, that it gives them an excuse not to try. No, what's the point? I'm an omega male. I make people uncomfortable even when I'm just sitting in the room. So some people just give up. Now they have an excuse to give up. And that is its own form of manipulation. Always remember that. People can manipulate in indirect ways. They can manipulate by being passionless and unenthusiastic. And they're just going to be like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. No, 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 I don't want to do that. And you tell them something, just even a way to try and get out of this type of defeatist mindset. And they're like, okay, well, maybe. Always, always saying no to anything. Why? It's a term that I learned back in 2020. Paralyzing the conversation, where someone is just, again, they're just ignoring everything you say. They ask you stuff and then they ignore what you say in response, so that eventually you will give up and just do whatever they want, or they'll just continue to wreak havoc in their own chaotic, passionless, and unenthusiastic state, and you're just going to stop trying, and you're both going to be sitting there, and that person got control of you, paralyzing the conversation. Now, that stuff is so much more beneficial than the sociosexual hierarchy with your gamma, delta, omega. People just like their labels. Look out for people who are just trying to take advantage of you and sort of lead from behind in this manipulative way. Well, it's not even leading behind. How about a better example? Dragging you down. Be aware of that. All right, well, thank you for listening to this episode here, and you can always like and subscribe. And on AstroPsych 400, I do a segment on the weekends called the Podcast for Sleep, which helps people fall asleep at night. And it's about 30 minutes long, but it should help you fall asleep instantly. If you're curious, I invite you to check it out. Okay, until next time.